Kyle Busch involved in a physical altercation. A NASCAR confrontation occurs between Busch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. after a crash at the All-Star race. Intense confrontations, ongoing feuds, and possible penalties. In this video, we will cover the shocking details of this explosive incident that's got the racing world buzzing. Make sure to subscribe to NASCAR Insider and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on our future updates. We're only 2 laps into the race at North Wilkesboro Speedway when suddenly Stenhouse and Busch make contact. Stenhouse's number 47 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 veers into the outside wall with a sudden impact. Just like that, his night and his shot at the $1 million prize are over. Now, Stenhouse claims Busch hit the fence first and then ran into him. He hit the fence and kind of came off the wall and ran into me, Stenhouse alleged. But Busch, he's not having it. He's adamant that Stenhouse is the one who caused the wreck. With his race over, Stenhouse does something unexpected. He parks his beat-up car right in Kyle Busch's pit stall. He hops out and starts jawing at Busch's crew, clearly heated about how things went down on the track. I parked it there because I figured Kyle would do something similar, Stenhouse explained later. Seems like he was already planning to confront Kyle the moment he could. Fast forward to the end of the race. Joey Logano takes the checkered flag and the $1 million, but Stenhouse, he's got other things on his mind. He makes a beeline for Kyle Busch, ready for a face-to-face showdown. Their argument quickly gets heated. "You hit the fence and then you hit me," Stenhouse insists, telling Busch to go watch the replay. But Busch fires back with, "I don't believe you." Oof, them's fighting words, literally. Out of nowhere, Stenhouse makes a physical move towards Busch. Chaos ensues as crew members from both teams rush in, and the 2 drivers end up on the ground in a physical altercation. It's a scene straight out of a Hollywood movie. There's some tension bubbling under the surface. "You know, I feel like Kyle and I have always raced each other really hard," Stenhouse claimed, but things took a turn after Stenhouse wrecked Busch at Daytona. "Then I wrecked him once at Daytona, and he's kind of been bad-mouthing me ever since then." Stenhouse unloaded on Busch in his post-fight interview, venting about all the pent-up frustration from Busch running his mouth. "Definitely built up frustration with how he runs his mouth all the time about myself," Stenhouse said of Busch. He even took a shot at Busch's recent struggles on the track, adding, "I know he's frustrated because he doesn't run near as good as he used to, and I understand that." NASCAR isn't going to let this slide. They've said that any penalties will likely be handed down by Wednesday, as per their normal procedures. If there are any penalties, they'll be assessed by Wednesday in line with normal procedures and timelines, NASCAR stated. Stenhouse and his dad, who got caught up in the scuffle, could be looking at suspensions or fines. Same goes for any crew members who threw punches. And Busch? If NASCAR determines he intentionally wrecked Stenhouse at the start of the race, he might not be off the hook either. The incident got other drivers weighing in too. Denny Hamlin spilled some tea on his podcast Actions Detrimental, revealing that Stenhouse was texting his fellow competitors during the race, telling them he planned to go after Busch. I didn't realize that when I went back and looked. We have a group text, and it's me and Austin, it's got JP and Jared, my buddy Greg, and it's got Ricky Stenhouse and Kyle Larson on it. He was letting us know, while the race was going on, that he's going to go after him, Busch. "So, of course I'm in the race, so I don't see it," Hamlin said via On3. "But there's others that are not in the race." So, he's stuck in the infield on his phone, and he's fuming. Meanwhile, NASCAR's Senior Vice President of Racing Development John Probst stated they're diving into all the footage and there will definitely be some announcements coming on potential sanctions. Probst said on Sunday, "Nothing to announce right now. I would say that we've already started looking at the tape. We'll take a deep dive into that Tuesday, and certainly there will be some announcements. I would anticipate there's a lot of folks involved there that we don't like seeing." Even racing legend Kyle Petty chimed in, saying Busch was in the wrong for wrecking Stenhouse like that. "I think that Kyle Busch, and he didn't have the hindsight, didn't have the opportunity in the 1.5 laps that he ran to watch the replay of the video when he was in the wrong and Ricky Stenhouse was in the right. You could have put 2 fans in the middle of the racetrack between Ricky Stenhouse and Kyle Busch, and he still runs into the wall," Petty said. Jeff Burton had an interesting take, suggesting that Busch's winless streak this season might be messing with his head and stroking his anger. Burton stated, "Whatever you think about him, he's also a human being. The guy loves to win and he hasn't been able to on a frequent basis. There's no way that's not on his mind." Stenhouse also issued a chilling warning to Busch as they were being pulled apart. he straight up told him, "I'm going to challenge you at Charlotte." Yep, the feud might be far from over. Busch, in true Busch fashion, seemed completely unfazed. His response, "Bring it, I suck as bad as you." Oof, way to pour salt in both their wounds with a self-burn. With tensions at an all-time high and some ominous threats hanging in the air, you can bet all eyes will be glued to Charlotte Motor Speedway next Sunday for the Coca-Cola 600. Will Stenhouse make good on his promise to wreck Busch? Will NASCAR drop the hammer with penalties to stop this feud in its tracks? Can these rivals keep things civil on the track, or will we see round 2 of this fight in the infield? The box score might say Joey Logano won the $1 million All-Star race, but the real story coming out of North Wilkesboro was the Stenhouse-Busch brawl. These two have a lot of history and clearly a ton of unresolved beef. But as Stenhouse himself said, "If there was a tunnel, I'd have probably been home watching the end of that." But here we are, with a full-blown NASCAR feud that's got the potential to boil over at any moment. You know, we'll be watching the Coca-Cola 600 with bated breath to see if Stenhouse follows through on his threat or if cooler heads can somehow prevail. One thing's for sure, the All-Star race may be over, but the drama between Stenhouse and Busch is just getting started. And there you have it, folks. The explosive showdown between Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch that's got the NASCAR world buzzing. With punches thrown, tempers flaring, and a long-simmering feud reaching its boiling point, this story is far from over. Will Stenhouse make good on his promise to wreck Busch at Charlotte? Can NASCAR keep a lid on this rivalry, or are we in for more fireworks on and off the track? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to NASCAR Insider. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.